Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Britik here, coming at you fast with another Beast Builds video. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing weird shit for my intros like that. Let me know if that sounds good, guys. I mean, I do not know if that would be good, but whatever. Let's just get into the fucking deck. Countess, OPS Countess, knowledge, death. That is how I build her for offlane. This is an offlane Countess deck. This is not a jungle Countess deck. I know people want me to make a jungle Countess deck. I could do that. I just don't feel like doing it right now. I don't like squishy junglers. I don't like playing squishy junglers. That's just like, I like assassins, which is weird, but I don't like playing them in jungle. At least not in Paragon. I don't know. So I'm gonna hold off on that for now. But here's an offlane Countess deck, or even a mid lane. You can do it in whatever lane you want. Font of experience. This should just be a given for any knowledge-based hero. It's just an amazing card. Font of experience gets you that expizzle my nizzle, and then we're gonna keep on going. We're gonna keep on going. We're actually not gonna have any other early game cards because we're just gonna rush intellect. We're gonna rush intellect, the points in intellect. We could have advanced evolution if you want it. I just don't see a point in even sliding this past level 5-ish, and you really should be level 5 by the time you back for your first time, at least in offlane. So yeah, there's that. You could get Rejuvenator if you want more cards, but honestly, you're just gonna go straight into Mana Flow Acolyte. This is just a great card, early game card. You get power every time you put a point in a intellect, and you're gonna be maxing out intellect in your attribute points. So definitely want to be doing this. Increase max mana by 0.5% and power by 0.5% when purchasing intellect. So definitely a good card right there. Definitely try and hold on to that as long as you can. And then the next card we are going to get depends on your situation. So there's quite a bit of stuff here that you can do. And let's take a look at them. So Power Tap. I rarely use this. I don't think I've even used this card once. I have it in all my knowledge decks just in case, but I have never used it because I always spend my gold on just stacking attribute points. I feel like you don't really need this. Just take a look. This costs 4,000 gold, and this technically costs 4,000 gold. This will give you 13 power and 12 ability armor penetration, which is more than just 15 power, because now armor can go into the negatives. And heroes have, like, no ability armor pen. And minions have, ability armor. And minions have a ton of ability armor for no reason. So having ability armor penetration on a caster will help you clear waves, and it'll help you kill shit very, very quickly. If you want to farm up a bit more, you can have Soldier of Fortune instead. Destroy target minion and gain 150 bonus gold and 30 experience. This is not like Wukong's passive. I was under the impression that it was until I actually used this card. It's literally like Flame of Zetchin, where you target a minion and you blow them up, and you just get 150 gold and 30 experience, and you can do this once every 90 seconds. Which is nice. It's nice. But one thing, that's good for like wave clear. Stuff for wave clear. When you need it, when you don't need it. But with Countess, you don't need the extra help with the wave clear. She has really good fucking wave clear. So this is really, really situational. Honestly, really situational. You could also use this to help push back super minions. But again, with Countess, you could just lunge at the super minions and insta-melt them. So this is honestly just in there just for shits and giggles if you end up liking it. I would go with Invader Mage. So my 3 cards that I would have in the beginning would be Font of Experience, Mana Flow Acolyte right here, and Invader Mage. This will give you a good amount of damage early game. Ability Armor Pen early game is just fantastic because you don't really get the chance to build a lot of ability armor until mid to late game with most cards. So this is really, really nice to have. You'll just be nuking people very quickly. And then we move down the line, because your job as Countess is to kill shit. We have a lot of stuff that gives us damage. So we have Thaumaturge here, gain power equal to 1% max mana. We've been cultivating that with Mana Flow Acolyte. Plus, we have a gem here that I will be showing shortly, where you get 2 max mana for every minion you kill, which is nice because Countess kills a lot of minions. She has good wave clear. Thaumaturge, Atomic Soldier, ability damage is increased by 10%. This is just a no-brainer. This is just like, oh my god, you just deal a shit ton of damage with her ult, with everything she has. Literally everything she has. It's fantastic. You have Shadow Dancer here, in case you want to be doing some stealthiness, some stealthy stuff. I Okay, so this is a great card, don't get me wrong. This literally turns Countess into Kalari. It's just even scarier. Or honestly, I mean, at this point, who knows who's scarier, really? They're both scary assassins, but this is really fun card to play around with. It gives you power, and it gives you basic armor, so it makes you a bit tankier, especially when you're targeting the carry. I almost said caster for some reason. The carry. But I feel like there's some other cards in this deck that can help you out with the damage. So just use this maybe mid-game if you're just fucking around with people. But later on in the game, you have some awesome cards. Like, of course, Sleeper Agent. This is awesome. Okay, silence target enemy for 3 seconds. The targets take 15% increased damage. This also gives you some CC. So if you're trying to, for example, attack the carry, and the support is right next to the carry, try to silence the support before lunging at the carry. It's going to be hard to pull off, but this is something you can do. You can silence, for example, the Narbash, because Narbash is a great counter to Countess because of his thunk and his ult. Run up on both of them, use the Sleeper Agent on Narbash, lunge at the Twin Blast or whoever, use your ult, use your spin attack. That will be enough time. 3 seconds is enough time for you to get that stuff off. It might not be enough time for you to get your wave clear ability. I forget the name of it. I'm sorry. I escaped the ability. You know what I'm talking about, like the big ass wave, the damage. But you could do that a bit later, maybe dodge the thunk or something. But it's a great card. Nonetheless, silencing is really, really huge. And then I have this card in here, Grid Inspector, just for super duper late game. It just gives a ton of power. And it also launches a slow-moving projectile that deals 300 true damage. If this brings target below 15% max health, they are executed. So, this is like that. I don't know if you've seen like the little like floaty squid-looking thing that chases you around. That's what that is. That's what that is. It has a range to it, but it is also a lock-on. It's very slow, so if you see that coming towards you and you're low on health, you gotta book that shit. But it helps a lot with Countess, because a lot of times when you use your ult with Countess and all that, you could usually nuke the carry, unless the carry has shield cards, and unless the support is next to him, like if there's a Muriel or something. This will help put the icing on the cake to kill that carry. So, there's a couple of late game variations for this deck. So, you could have Grid Inspector, which is 13, right? 13 intellect. You can have Atomic Soldier, which is 8 intellect, so that's 21 total. And then you can have Invader Mage, which brings you to a total of 25. Maximum amount of intellect. This will give you a lot of damage. 13 power with 12 ability armor pen, which means a lot. That means a lot. Atomic Soldier, which damage and increases your ability damage by 10%. And then just Grid Inspector with way more power, and then this ability, which is just crazy too, and more mana. And more mana. So there's that possibility. If you don't get to Grid Inspector, what you could do, you can have Thaumaturge, you can have Atomic Soldier, and you can have, come on, Sleeper Agent. This is more of a traditional caster kind of setup. It's really hard to hit Sleeper. Like, Sleeper Agent gives you 15% increased damage. It's really hard to hit Sleeper Agent in the middle of your combos, I'd say. You have to get a little bit extra time to set this up, but if you do, it'll deal a lot of damage, 15% increased damage on the people. So it's all up to you, up to your personal preference and how you approach situations as Countess. I'm very stupidly aggressive, so I don't usually have enough time to activate these actives like Sleeper Agent, so I prefer to have Grid Inspector, and it's just so funny to see people just explode with this card. But yeah, that's my Countess deck. Move on to the gems. We got this 1 point, because this is off lane. You should have healing towers in all your off lane decks, just for that early game sustain. And then you have an auto mana potion, deadly mana, which is what I was talking about at level 7. You will get, or at 7 intellect points, not level 7 intellect points, you'll get this, which is also when you will be able to have enough points to get Thaumaturge, but you'll need 3 more if you also have Mana Flow Acolyte. So deadly mana is good because it just helps you get way more mana, buff Mana Flow Acolyte and buff Thaumaturge. Healing spells, heal for 5% of ability damage dealt. Of course, this is insanely good on Countess because she just nukes people, so even 5% of that back is great on top of her passive regen. Ruthless spells deal an additional 1% ability damage for every 10% of enemy heroes missing health. Again, this is just great on Countess because when you get them low after ulting them, you use your spin, it just does way more damage, and it's just great, okay? Just using ruthless spells in conjunction just makes her do so much damage. And then, of course, overpowered spells. Abilities deal 20% bonus damage. It costs an additional 30% mana. This is stupid. Late game Countess is fucking stupid, and I love it. It's super broken, and she definitely needs to be nerfed a bit on her damage output, or at least by the time she comes online. But that's about it. So there's my Countess deck for you guys. Countess. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If it was helpful, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure to have a wonderful day.